I wouldn't make fun of him for wearing pink, or fuchsia if you will, cause he might just go a little bit ballistic and start firing on you. Of course, this is Misfire, and him shooting at you is about as effective as a stormtrooper. Nevertheless, while his aim is terrible, how does the toy fare? Well, we're going to find out when we discuss everything about this guy in the latest GotBot True review. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, subscribe, share, check out Machinery of Man, the Everything Factor. Have a look at Universal Collision and spend some time on the channel and see what it is that tickles your fancy. This is the Transformers Titans Return Wave 5 Deluxe Class Misfire with his partner Aimless. I'm glad we're getting these, because when was the last time we had a Misfire figure? G1, I do believe. And if I'm mistaken, hey, somebody can point it out in the comments to me. The guy only graduated from the Decepticon military college because the Autobots blew it up. He probably wasn't, ready to go on and become a full-fledged Decepticon. Nevertheless, that's what happened. What can I say? We're going to take him out of it for a second. We're going to look first at his box really quickly. There's a whole lot of, let me back this up. There's a whole lot of fuchsia and pink on it. The guy actually really stands out on the shelves. I spotted him right away, and he really is eye-catching. Regardless of if you like the coloring or not, he really is eye-catching. Here's the product shots on the back. It looks like his head is white here. Thankfully, that is not what we got with the actual figure. So I will, by the way, also on this, and I didn't point it out, on his outer wings there are Decepticon logos. They should be there. They're not on him, at the moment. I may add a couple of repro labels or something. I guess we'll see. I don't know, but they are supposed to be there and they're not. So that's one app that's missing. That's a little bit unfortunate. Naturally, we have instructions. They're instructions. And as always, you know that we're getting to the most exciting part, and that is the ever popular collector card. Ooh, look at that. Actually, it is really nice artwork. I love the way that he looks on this. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty accurate, although his blasters are sort of a blue there. That's not what they are, on the figure. Here is the tech spec side of things. Mostly, even with his Target Master partner, he reaches about an 8. His intelligence is about a 6. I think that's probably even generous for his intelligence, personally. But there you go. Now, bringing him back in. And let's try and get in tight on him again here. I really like this guy. Now, here he is, let's see, with, I guess, his mold brother. I'm saying mold brother, although there are a few differences, but here he is with Trigger Happy. And if I can just get Trigger Happy to stand here, because I do have his heels kind of pushed back a bit. Moving him over and bringing in Trigger Happy. They look good together. I can't wait to get Slug Slinger, to be honest with you. I looked at Trigger Happy in full back in episode 225. I scored him perfect. I said that Trigger Happy was everything right with Transformers. Now, some people have pointed out some misassembly issues with him, and that's a real shame, but I never experienced that. Assuming you get one that is correctly assembled, I think his paint is a 10. I think his transformation's a 10. I think his Articulation is a 10. So how is Misfire here going to stack up and compare? Well, we'll see that in a minute, and when we get to the transformation, I'm going to point out what's different. Very first thing, I guess, should be looking at his, I'll say, accessories. He comes with two of these blasters. They're both sculpted the same. You can see that this is obviously where the Titan Master seat is going to be. There's a 5mm peg on the bottom, one on the back, one on the side here. You can kind of put it in a bunch of places. Naturally, he can hold it in his hand by this peg, and it looks fine. It can't really go into his wings. What basically happens is you use this peg on the side to kind of stick it in his arm. It looks like it's under his wing. You saw it on his shoulders there a few minutes ago, and that's really kind of the storage for it. I think that's a bit of a shame. Holes in the wings would have helped. Naturally, these two should be able, I guess, to go together, and they do. Very tight. Yeah, they go together like this. Ooh, sorry about that. They go together like this. I couldn't push them together. I had to slide one up into the other, and naturally, the intention is for Aimless to sit in here. He does so, but relatively loosely. Maybe there's a way to solidify it. Okay, I thought that there was maybe a way to solidify it. There isn't really, so he sits loosely. If somebody knows a way to get him in there more securely, hey, great. But I'm never ever planning on using this anyway. That being said, we have Aimless, and I always score these guys as 2s basically across the board, but Aimless is a bit of an exception. He is a mix of, you know, that kind of fuchsia pink. His visor and his face is painted. The visor's nice blue. The thighs are black. The guy is actually, he looks nice, and I'm going to score his paint and whatnot about an 8. I think it's really good. Of course, ball joint the head, arms, the legs can get in a seated position, but of course they're connected. This guy is pinned at the hip and pinned at the knee, at both. You know, as far as Titan Masters go, this guy's probably more like a 4 or a 5. If you really dig the Titan Master line and you like these little guys, he's probably an 8 or 9. He's one of the better ones. And of course, we put these down, we can close the head over, and there you have, if it will focus, there you have the full sculpt for Misfire. I love it. I did, however, paint his blue visor red. That does come blue at a package. I love the color used on the face. I like the, it looks black, but I think it might be more of a really charcoal dark, gunmetal gray type of head. But it looks really good and kind of glossy. I absolutely love it. So, that being said, I guess we will get into transformation. And of course, normally we would have, let me get this guy set up here. I guess we'll get right into transformation. And normally we would have the head on here and we would remove it. So we're going to just leave the head off for now since it's already done. Easy things first, as we always like to do with these. And we begin by flipping in the fist and flipping in the fist, no problem there. Next, close up the feet. Actually, you want to put the heel back up to the leg and close that foot over like that. And the heel into the leg and that foot up and over like that. So far, so good. Next, unpeg the waist and bring it down and straighten out those legs for now. these legs are going to flip up into these cavities here, just like we have with Trigger Happy. So we take one and bring it all the way up, we take the other and bring it all the way up, and of course, if you didn't do so before, peg those together. So it's very much like the, you know, the tail section of Trigger Happy. Now, at this point on Trigger Happy, you would really take the whole chest assembly and you would rotate it, because part of his cockpit is right here. Well, that's not the case with this guy. His cockpit is right here on the back. So we don't need to rotate that chest. What we will do, however, is we're going to bring down the shoulders, just like we do with Trigger Happy. Except now as we bring them down, because the wings are connected to the assembly and not the arm itself, we got to rotate the wing up as we bring the arm down. So you begin to bring the shoulder down, rotate the wing up. Shoulder down, rotate the wing up. And you'll do this really until you get the whole arm down flush. When you get the arms down, what you have is, let's see if I can show this. You have a little tab right here, and it goes into a slot on the leg back right here. So you bring this down and you peg it into that slot, and you peg it into that slot. And now you can deal with these wings. There's a rectangular tab up here on the shoulder, and there's a little slot there's a few slots here, but you're looking for the one right in here. And that will go down over that peg. So you bring that down, and you bring that down, and they peg on over the arms. Looking good so far. And now this whole back section, you just bring it down and tab it in, and boom, there you go. You have a very Cybertronian-esque looking jet in the end, but I love it because it is so very true to what he should look like. This is totally accurate. I love it. It's fun. It looks funky. We can of course open up the cockpit section there, and when you place Aimless inside, you really need to put him in like an actual seated position. Like you have to have the legs, you know, really angled down like a seated position. It's a little bit fiddly for a second till you get him in there, but you'll feel it when he is in the right spot, and then you just close this down. He fits in there no problem. Honestly, I completely dig the transformation. Now you'll notice that I've done things a little bit differently here. You're going to have to excuse me because the heat is just overwhelming where I live right now. I'm going to take him back to robot mode just so you can see how quickly it is, and we'll go through articulation then. But, you know, honestly, when we were talking about the paint, I had to touch up those eyes. Besides that, he's missing the Decepticon symbols on his wings. I'm going to give his paint a 9. It's very, very accurate. Not perfect, but very accurate. So I'm giving that a 9. By the way, since we're here, I'll show this too. To put these blasters on under his wings, you don't really put it on the wing, you're putting it in the port on his arm here. So you take it and you put it in there, and you take this one and you put it in over there. And there he is with his blasters in. 9 for paint. Transformation, it's easy. It's fun. I think the way the wings and the arms go is, it's intuitive, but it's interesting. I kind of missed the chest swivel that Trigger Happy had, but I understand that it just wasn't needed here. Honestly, everything pegs in nicely. Everything is easy. 10. So we have a 9 and 10. This guy's a 9.5 so far. I will take those out. We'll do articulation. Have the little head of the Titan Master straight. By the way, his Titan Master pegs in easily. Okay, so articulation. Well, you know, the head can go left and right. Can't really look up or down. it's a nice fit. It's snug, but it's not too tight, it's not too loose, it's just perfect. The shoulders can rotate. I guess if the wing wasn't here, they could rotate, you know, if you can get them past the wing, they can rotate all the way around. They go way out to the side. We have a swivel at the bicep and a nice 90-degree elbow. We have the wrists able to go in and out. I don't know if that's of any use to anyone. We still get a nice waist swivel, so I totally dig that. Legs forward and back, thigh swivel, deep knee. The heel can hinge forward, the toe can hinge forward, and I think that on the thighs, I think there's like, I think it's gray paint on gray plastic on the thighs, not the upper thighs up by his waist, but the section from the swivel down to his knee, if I'm not mistaken. I like the paint apps on the guy. Articulation is a 10. It's really effective. You could gripe about an ankle tilt, I guess. I don't know if the guy needs it. He has wide feet and stands nicely. So we have a 10, a 10, a 9.5. This guy is easily a 9.8, 9.9. He is a great figure. An excellent addition to the Titans Return lineup. This is the quality of figure that I now expect. And I've been hard on the Last Night toy line because it's not as good as this. It just isn't. And this thing is top notch. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about this guy. And you know, do you like him? Do you not like him? Was I too easy on him? Was I too hard on him? And what else can I say? Thanks for giving me some of your valuable time, and I really look forward to the next time that you and I get together for another visit right here inside the video.